meeting to order December 4th, 2023. Vice Terry. Terry Haycraft. Second plate.
I pledge allegiance to the flag
of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
I had a flicker there, Terry.
That's okay.
Between Alvy and Haycraft. Thanks, Terry. Okay. Let's see. Next on the agenda, we'll do the approval of the regular meeting minutes from November 20th. If there are no questions or concerns with those, I'll entertain a motion to approve those.
I make a motion.
Motion by Clayton,
I'll second it.
second by Tootie. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Thank you. Next up is approval and the ratification of bills. Minutes in the bills were sent out last week, so,
I got a question.
okay.
On the Little League, why do we have almost $1,000 electric?
That is the combination of Little League and Veterans Memorial, the whole thing. And I can't really tell you the exact why, but it usually runs around $1,000.
A month?
Yeah, 10% of that bill gets coded to Veterans Memorial. So
Uh-huh.
the bill is actually more
Okay.
than that.
And we did have a couple of tournaments over the weekend. So
Okay.
that made a difference.
Okay.
Those lights over there are 3,000 right now. So that bill's quite a bit more than softball.
Yeah, it's a contract, it's a contract situation. There's a minimum demand on it and all that, so, they turn into a pretty good price when you get into that type of lighting, so.
I make a motion to pay the bills.
All right, motion by Tootie,
Second.
second by
Anybody?
Billy. All in favor?
Aye.
Thank you. Okay, visitors, do we have anyone in the audience that wants to address the council? Tammy, I'm not gonna forget, I'm gonna let you go first this time.
Tammy, I haven't turned that mic on either.
I don't know if any of you came to Christmas Light Up Leitchfield, but it was the largest crowd that we have ever had. Miss Gina was one of our elves. I would say we had 75 students singing, so you figure there were two parents. I mean, we had over 200, 300 people there. It was absolutely amazing. If you haven't had a chance, please drive through the park because these businesses have really stepped up and have really made a difference out there. And we have 60 spots, and only 4 were not taken. So other than that, at Christmas on the Square, it was a huge success also. The parade was phenomenal, and that's all I got to add.
Moving on to next year.
Moving on to
We'll be
next
here before we
year.
know it.
Exactly.
Man,
Thank you, Tammy.
Good job, Tammy.
It was the parade, festivities on the square and everything were really nice. They were well attended, and I've heard a lot of compliments about the timing of the parade, you know,
Yeah.
toward the end of the day, so. Any other visitors? Ruby? Scotty? Okay.
Scotty, nothing to say?
Okay, we'll move on. Second and final reading of amended ordinance related to utility commission member pay monthly instead of per meeting. Earlene?
All right, this is the second reading, so we'll take a roll call vote tonight. Whereas the City of Leitchfield, Kentucky has enacted an ordinance providing for the specifications and compensation of the members of the Leitchfield Utility Board, and whereas in order for the ordinance to reflect the current payment method being utilized by the City of Leitchfield to members of the Leitchfield Utility Board, it is necessary to amend the current compensation specifications. Now therefore be it ordained by the City of Litchfield, Kentucky, that the ordinance passed on 10/7/68 with amended ordinance 2004-8 passed on 6/21/04 is hereby amended as follows, with deleted portions being indicated by a line drawn through them and encompassed by brackets enclosing them, with added portions being underlined. Subsection A, all members of the commission, so long as they are commissioners, shall be residents and taxpayers of the city. All appointments shall be until their successors shall have qualified. Any commissioners by appointment shall be eligible for reappointment upon the expiration of his term. Each commissioner as such shall receive reasonable compensation monthly, as may be fixed from time to time by the commission, subject to the approval of the city council. Each appointed commissioner shall be removable for cause by record vote of a majority of the members of the commission. We'll just need to take a roll call vote.
We need a first and second for the roll call.
Yes.
Okay, I'll entertain a motion to do roll call.
I'll make a motion.
Clayton is second.
Second.
Second by Tootie. Denny?
Aye.
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 Thank you. Next item on the agenda is approval of the Grayson County High School Marching Band Proclamation. If you guys look in the back of the packet there, you'll see that they had a pretty incredible year, and Judge Henderson and I felt like maybe it was a good thing to do to recognize them for all they did. So we went out to the high school and presented it to them. They were very appreciative of it. So I'll entertain a motion to approve that.
I'll make it.
Gina, second. Clayton, all in favor?
Aye.
Thank you. The approval of the October 2023 financial statement. We have that here in the packet. If there are not any questions or concerns about it, I'll entertain a motion to approve that.
I'll make a motion, Mayor, to approve the
Motion by Billy,
I'll second.
second by Gina,
October.
all in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Okay. Next up is the following Planning Commissioners, Board of Adjustment members' terms are up in December. Planning and Zoning Commissioner April Bowman's term ends 12/31/23. If reappointed, the new term would be 1/1/24 to 12/31/27. And this is a position that she was appointed to fill someone that resigned from the council or from the commission. So I would recommend personally that we reappoint her if you guys will approve that.
I'll go with the recommendation of the mayor to reappoint April Bowman in
Second.
planning and zoning.
Okay.
Aye.
All in favor?
Terry, aye.
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 Thank you all.
Terry, second. I was just aye.
Planning and Zoning Commissioner Tim Bocock's term ends 12/31/23. If reappointed, the new term would be 1/1/24 to 12/31/27. I would recommend reappointing him also. A lot of that is, there's a lot of training involved with that commission, and I have been to several things that Tim has attended out of town, meetings and things like that, so he's dedicated and wanting to be a part of it, so.
I make a motion that we accept Tim Bocock
Okay.
again on the planning and zoning.
Okay,
I'll second it.
all right, second by Tootie, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Thank you. Board of Adjustments member Tim Bocock's term ends 1/1/24. If reappointed, his term would be 1/1/24 to 1/1/28. And I'll entertain a motion to approve that if.
I make a motion,
Clayton.
put him on the Board of Adjustments.
Is there any
again.
conflict with doing both?
No.
No, the Board of Adjustments meets quarterly, isn't that right, Tyler? So,
You can have two members on the Board of Adjustments that also serve on the Planning Commission.
I understand.
okay. Okay. Anybody made the motion yet?
I did.
Okay, motion by Clayton, Gina second, all in favor?
Aye.
Thank you. Okay, unfinished business, code enforcement amended ordinance for condemned property. Tyler?
Arlene and I will be getting back together again this Thursday. We're still working on that.
Okay. All right, planning and zoning compensation ordinance 151-15 needs to be moved from the joint planning commission section to the Leitchfield Planning Commission section. Update, this has been moved to the correct location, is now under planning commission. Do we need to do anything with that, Lori?
No, I just wanted to let them know that it was
Okay.
there. When we do the codification at the beginning of the year, when they send out the adjustments and everything, they'll have new forms for this, for us to replace in our books, to have your all's books right, so.
Okay. All right. Highland Terrace, Shauna Drive gate at the end of the road. I talked to Judge Henderson about that. I haven't talked to him since our original conversation, but I've been by there a couple of times and noticed that the gate has been locked. So every time I've been over there, Mom lives in that neighborhood, and I can see it from her house. So it's been locked up. And I texted Adrian, who came before us that day, and haven't heard back from him. But I say no news is good news sometimes. So
Right.
maybe they got it fixed. The community alert app.
I did send out the emails to everybody with the price and,
Slideshow.
yeah, I was gonna say there was something else, it was the slideshow, so.
Yeah, we have a number, I think it's a 5-digit number now that we can text, right, Lori, to City Hall?
Just text our regular number, the 403-259-4034.
Okay. This app that we looked at is actually an app that goes on your phone. It has the ability to track work order type things. It'll do a bunch of things that would benefit us, don't you think, Lori?
Oh, I think so.
It's got a lot of information for day-to-day operations. Just say somebody calls or texts in, wants to get a ditch cleaned out or something like that. Once that goes in there, when you go back and look at it, if it's been marked done, you can tell. If it's not done, you can tell. So you can tell timelines of when things were requested versus when they got done. It's about like any other app that we use on our phones. There's just a ton of information in it. It links a lot of things to our website. So the maintenance on it and software is included in the price, as long as you keep the service. So
Yeah, and you're only bound year by year,
Year by
so
year. It's no
we're
long-term
not
contract or
locked
anything.
into a 5 or 10 year deal with it. It's year by year, so.
I think y'all have seen the cost probably on it. I think utilities, there's a good possibility that utilities would go in with us on it.
Dwight was very impressed with it,
Yeah.
so.
And it's a company called GoGov, and they are nationwide. They do work for utility, or for municipalities and everything nationwide. So just ask you guys, what do you think of that? I think everything's moving in that direction. Apps that young people are more apt to use something like that than they are, actually pick up and maybe text that number, not knowing, so.
Yeah, that number right now doesn't get utilized hardly any for city. Utilities uses it a lot for work orders, but I think they could actually use this for their work orders and be able to track their work orders and print off reports that give more detailed information, so.
Right. I think it'd be a useful tool for us. We sat through, actually Lori sat through it twice, I think, but we sat through a demonstration, and it was really neat.
So it would be beneficial for our employees. So how is it going to help our citizens who download the app and use it?
These are where you can put the alerts out that Gina
Right.
was talking about.
It's
If
more-
you got a
it's-
street closure, or,
Right.
Garbage is delayed.
You'll utilize it a lot
Garbage
more for infrastructure than you will. It just streamline, I think, your infrastructure between your departments
Yep.
and the mayor and whoever gets to.
And I've seen them used too for just reminders like Light Up Litchfield or Christmas
Yeah.
parade
Yeah.
times, and just an additional information
Yeah, just kind of what's going on around the city, we can get it out to everybody.
Yeah. And we generally put this stuff on Facebook. A lot of people see it, maybe a lot of people don't. I think if we go to something like this, we'll have to make a pretty good push when people come in, especially if we see them face to face, if they're adept at using things like that, to get them to install the app and to actually use it. Anything they've got an issue with, they can report it to us, and it just Billy said, streamlines things a little bit for the
Yep.
public and for us. So that's maybe something you guys want to think about.
Question. So there's portions that's public and portions that just would be, right, it's not
Yes,
everybody.
right. Yeah, the work portion of it, of us is like, there are certain things to manipulate that probably Lori could get in and change
Right.
or do.
Yeah, you can assign
Okay.
administrative duties,
Yeah.
I guess you could say, to where. But just keep in mind, again, if we do this, we will have to amend the budget. So whenever you all get ready to make a final decision on that, we will have to make a motion to amend the budget, because we didn't put, it's gonna be, what, $4,600. Can't remember exactly what that was, probably a little more than that.
Is that our part?
Yeah, because
Is
it was
9 grand?
it was
9?
was it 95 or
94,
something like
5, something
that?
like that
I can't
a
remember,
year, yeah.
so.
And like Lori said, if we get it and it's not, we don't find it useful, it's a year at a time.
I was
so
gonna say,
it's-
I think it's worth the risk for a year
I
to,
think so.
I mean, Leslie will know, Mayor, y'all know in a year, David will know in a year whether or not it's worth
Exactly,
what we do.
yep.
We definitely need to move in that direction. Can we send out something since utilities will be using it too, can we send out just a little info in a water bill?
Yeah, we
because
can
know-
put, even if utilities wasn't, we could still put that on the bill, because, they're
How
our
often
garbage customers
How often
too.
we do a monthly letter? Do we do a monthly letter anymore?
We haven't done one
No.
lately.
We actually talked about doing one a few weeks ago, and Ilsa was talking about doing it, and
Well, you can
they're
fill up part of it with beautification awards,
yeah,
if you're needing space
Yeah.
to,
yeah.
the ones we've handed out.
Yeah, she sent out an email asking for stuff to put in it, and I don't think she got a lot of response, so.
I don't think so. It's just kind of busy and hectic right now
Yeah.
with all the holidays and trying to get
Yeah.
everything. So I'm thinking maybe after the beginning of the year, things will
First of the
slow
year, we'll
down
send
just a
one.
little bit, where you don't have as much on your mind trying to get everything squeezed in.
Yeah,
I think we're all in agreement that this is a direction that we want to move in. So would it help to speed the process along if we said yes?
Make a motion.
yeah.
Make a motion so do we want to make the motion pending utilities approval?
Yeah,
And-
I would.
Yes. I'll make a motion pending utilities approval of the
Community.
community alert app
And
Second.
that includes amending the budget.
and include amending the budget.
Have you already have a set price where it's, the next stage is entering a contract? Is that where it's at right now?
Yeah, we got
the Yeah.
quote
Okay.
on what it's gonna
Okay.
cost us.
All right.
All right, got
I'll
a first
second.
and a second, all in favor?
Aye.
And I can get
You
that
have
to
a
the
question?
contract to Arlene to review before we
Okay,
sign
that was
that.
gonna be my question is, do we need, you'll review the contract?
Yes.
And then we'll make a motion to have
Him sign the
sign it,
contract.
right?
Okay.
Or
Any
we can do
opposed?
that now, pending your approval on it, and just
Yeah.
have it all done.
You know, if you give me the authority to read it and give a yes or no, and you could go ahead and take a vote and say, pending authority of the mayor, or pending my
Authority
okay,
of the
let the
attorney.
mayor go ahead and sign it, we don't have to come back here and do it in a second vote.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'll make that
You-
motion.
So just add that into
Just
the
add that to
original
I'll
Terry.
add
motion.
that in,
Okay.
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 Yeah, Terry wants to.
Everybody's in agreement to
You
add
go
that
with
to
it.
the
Yes.
original motion?
Yes.
That additional motion.
Gotcha.
Okay, thank you, guys. I think that'll be a good thing for the community and for the folks that work here as well, so. Okay, next on the agenda is discussion on whether to repeal the ordinance relating to adoption of program for community improvement. Tyler, you want to talk about that?
All right. So I did quite a bit of research on this. From the the Kentucky Division of Planning and Zoning, a gentleman named Walter Edlin came to the city council meeting on March 20th of 1961. He presented this to the council at that time. And basically what this program, the Program for Community Improvement, also known as Workable Program, would entitle the city to federal and state aid for urban renewal and public housing. The adoption would require the city to adopt various codes such as the plumbing code, electrical code, building and housing code, and gas code, so on and so forth. The city would be required to appoint a federal housing committee which would buy property in slum or blighted areas with federal and state monies. The city would also be required to provide public housing for displaced residents. So all I could find was that they adopted the plumbing code. They formed a commission called the Leitchfield Municipal Housing Commission. This was adopted by resolution in August of 1961, but there was no evidence going forward that they adopted any other of those codes, and they were also supposed to send in an application to an entity out of Atlanta, Georgia, to get the approval to do this, and none of that. I read through 4-minute books trying to find all this stuff. There's no evidence that they went through with it.
Okay. I gotta give it to Tyler. He was here, I was here late that day for some reason, and he was still here when I left. He sat in there and read all day, so.
I think my phone
Arlene-
went off
Arlene was with
after
him quite a
7
while,
o'clock
too,
when he
so.
left.
I was the last one here.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
Well, thank you for looking into that, Tyler, and that was very informative.
So do we want to repeal that ordinance? What are y'all's thinking on that?
It's a useless ordinance. It should have been repealed decades ago.
Okay.
It adds nothing, and why it's still there is unknown.
Okay,
Because they're supposed to review the ordinance periodically anyway to get them out.
okay.
I think it had some good ideas in there.
For
Yeah, I
1960.
think
I
it's
think
good
even
ideas,
now-
but
I'm not saying not repeal it, I'm just saying. some
I don't
of
think the
things that were
city's ready
mentioned.
financially to.
Well, you have all the plumbing inspectors, and electrical inspectors and everything now that you didn't have
You're
then.
governed by different
But
body.
It's a whole new world.
housing and things though,
And when you're talking now about obtaining property from people and providing housing for displaced people,
Did you make a motion then?
it's pretty good.
I did not, but I
Pretty good
will make a
number.
motion to repeal this ordinance.
I'll second.
Second by Clayton, all in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? All right, thank you, guys. Discussion on whether to repeal the ordinance relating to joint planning commission.
I also researched this one, and it is specifically the Joint Planning Commission, which would pertain only to planning and zoning, and we've never done that with the county. So I would recommend to repeal that ordinance. There was some stuff that I read through that pertained to what is now the IDC, but it was separate from, it wasn't called this. I
Right.
can't remember exactly what it was, but this is completely separate.
And I agree with Tyler as well. I also agreed with him on the previous, the repealing, but just to give my legal opinion, there are old ordinances that just need to be off the books, and, and I think I had some questions about repealing ordinances. If there are, certain aspects of this that ever want to be brought back up, you can always form a new ordinance to address those concerns or, those ideas, but I do think that they need to be off the books at this time. So if there's ever, any of those areas that need to be addressed, we can address those with new ordinances. So, but I agree with Tyler that it's need to be off the books. They have not been used for several years and 60s on the first one that Tyler was discussing, so. And Tyler did a great job of doing what I would consider legal research and looking back at the minutes, and they're not fun to read sometimes. Well, sometimes we found some funny things in, we found some funny things in the ones in the 60s, but, and yeah, some of the rates of pay were quite interesting to see.
Yeah.
But I've agreed with everything Tyler says, why I didn't chime in, but.
Okay, thank you, Earlene.
I'll make a motion to repeal the ordinance relating to joint planning commission.
I'll second that.
First and second by Terry, all in favor?
Aye.
All right, thank you, guys.
I appreciate you both looking into that. It really helps to have an explanation of why the ordinance was put into place before we go and repeal something, even though it was so old, back in the 60s, back in the 70s. I mean, to me, it was put there for a reason when it started, and now that we know what it is, it's easier to make that decision. I'm not going to repeal an ordinance until I know what it is. So I appreciate both of you all working on that.
Okay, we'll do unfinished business. We'll go around the room. Billy, give me unfinished.
Where we at on the pickleball court?
They got the rock
I
down.
saw them
Scotty.
working today.
Yeah, I'm hoping, depending on the weather, they had actually planned on blacktopping it this week, but I hadn't heard from them, I didn't talk to them today, so.
In Veteran Memorial Park, how's it coming along?
We've had a lot of people that have contacted us, usually it's a complaint, we've had several that have called and said they're very proud and happy to see
So it's finished, the drive?
the grass is growing, so everybody's just only glad the grass growing.
Wesley said something about go-kart races.
It'd be a good place to do that track. would-
That track would be nice.
I have personally too had some people contact me that how nice it looked now, so. As Tammy said, we've struggled with it a little bit, but our intent's always good to keep that as pristine as we can.
Yes.
I'm good.
Okay, Terry?
Wesley, I can't remember if I asked you at the last meeting or not, but because we had a street committee meeting before our last meeting, and I asked about the left turning light at the two intersections. And if I didn't ask during the meeting, would you care to go over what you talked about in the street meeting?
Yes, in regards to the designated turning lanes for North Main and West Walnut.
And Mill Street.
Mill Street and Salt River. I had sent an email to the permit office in E-Town, and they're gonna do a traffic study or a traffic count. And it has to be a certain amount of traffic in order for them to issue it. They will then send it to Frankfurt, let Frankfurt decide, and then let us know. So I actually got the email back this morning that he's gonna start working on the traffic count.
Is the amount of traffic that turns left, is that gonna be the only indicator as to whether or not?
I'm not sure. He didn't go into the specifics on it. He just said that, they would have to do a traffic count. And he did ask me if there were certain times where there would be more traffic than others that he would document. And of course, I live out that way, so normally, in the afternoon during school traffic, you can't get turned there. And in the mornings, the same way. So I give him two times that, I thought was more relevant, and then on Salt River, it just, around lunchtime, I don't know if there's just so many people that going that way or what, but it's hard to get
Well, in
turned.
school time too.
Yeah, school time is always bad, but, they're gonna get that rolling, and he'll let us know whenever he gets everything done and heard from yes or no.
All right, thank you. That's all I have.
Okay, Judy?
No, sir.
Clay?
No, sir.
Jean?
No.
Danny?
Just one, anything, Wes, on the lighting, the lights that are out for KU?
No, not yet. I'm still trying to get them a list, and I know I've tried to get a hold of the guy to find out our contract that we was talking about, and I'm still waiting to hear, to see if they can tell us on how long they've got to get them fixed and different things like that, so. But
Is there any way they could give us like a contact person? As much business as we do with them, you would think they would.
We've got one that we normally use, of course Heather sends it in, she emails, I'm not sure who it is that she emails whenever we have some out for Warren. And I think she does it with KU also, but we've got 2 or 3 service guys that we try to get in touch with, and I guess for the holidays, they've been all different things, it's just hard to catch anybody right now to give you a definite answer.
Okay,
So as soon as ever I do find out, then I'll let you all know.
okay, thanks, that's all.
Thanks, Denny. Lori?
No.
Herleen?
No.
Wes? David? No, sir. Tyler? No, sir. All right, thank you, guys. Okay, we'll move on to new business. One of the things I do want to mention to you guys, we'll need to look at, we got a streetlight contract for Fountain View Estates. Is that where the new subdivision is going on the right, Tyler?
Yes.
Okay,
Yeah, I think they're gonna put they've proposed 4 streetlights to go out there.
okay. 4 lights, I think it was $86 a month. Is that right, Lori?
8688, it's on the back of your all's packets.
Okay. But there's a small possibility we may have to amend the budget with that, so.
I think we're gonna, that's what I was telling Mayor, I think we're gonna be okay, but I think we're gonna be close, because that's one we set off the previous year, that, you know, with the contracts we know we've got, so. But when I looked at it this morning, we're about not quite a third away there, which is where we should be. So I think we're gonna have a little bit of a wiggle room there, and I think we'll be okay, but just in case.
Okay. So we need a first and second to vote on that?
Yeah, and that'll give you the authority to enter that contract.
Okay. And it is, everybody knows where Kevin Brooks is building the new subdivision, so it will go in there. So I'll entertain a motion to accept that.
What about the lights turning in? Are they still working on that? Okay.
Yes.
I'll make a motion, Mayor.
All right, motion by Billy, second by Clayton. All in favor?
Aye.
Yeah, if anybody asked about the light there at the entrance, that's been an ongoing thing, but I think there's some issues with right-of-way. Am I correct, Wes?
Yes.
They will have to cross someone's property with wire, and so far that person hasn't agreed to that. So
Above
that-
wire?
Yeah.
Above ground wire?
Yeah, so that's been the holdup. That is the holdup now, so.
What's the fix?
I would say if they have to come from another direction, we'd be looking at more money, just that they'd probably have to set more poles and run it a further distance. Maybe a discussion we might need to have with them this week, Wes, and just see if there's another way they can bring it in, and, because I don't think this person will sign the right of way. I don't, do you, Wes?
I don't believe so, and I'm hoping that they'll get that resolved.
Yeah.
But I'll try to check with them tomorrow too and see where they're at on it.
Yeah.
Who's negotiating with them? The state or us?
No, it's KU had contacted them
I mean.
for the right of way,
electric
or
company.
for the easements, and they had 2 easements to cross, and one of them signed, the other one give it to their attorney, so they're dealing with, KU's dealing with this person's attorney. So we're just waiting for them to take care of that, so hopefully that'll work out.
You might, if you talk to them, maybe mention to them what would the expense be if we did run it from a different direction. I was wondering if the state plans on putting street lights out
Right.
62
there. Have you heard any talk of that, Wes?
I haven't, and I actually had a few residents out there that have asked me about, is it Oakwood or Oak Hill, the last road on
Oak
the
Hill,
right?
yeah.
That it's dark there, you know, it also needs a light there.
Yeah.
I don't know that, KU has anything on for that, so we may have to see
I may
about
reach out to
adding that.
Mr. Blaine and see if they've got any intention of street lighting that. And maybe that'll, might be able to settle this with that, you know,
Yeah,
so.
because if they're gonna run it all the way up through there, they take care of that entrance.
Right, yeah. I'll make contact with him tomorrow, and we'll just ask him, so. Okay. Billy, new business?
No, sir.
Terry?
No.
Judy?
No, sir.
Clayton?
Want to thank the police department. Last night, as everybody knows and maybe listens to this, there's a lot of break-ins in automobiles going on. And last night, Ruby went out and she came back in and got me real quick. There was somebody about 1:30 this morning on a bicycle, dark clothes, looked just like the picture that was put on. So I called the police, and there was a county unit and 2 more units came right out, but they never could find them. But they were poking along and stopping and looking at everybody's houses. And I think Ruby spooked them. I didn't mean that Anyway, they saw Ruby and took off. And by the time I got outside, well, they had hit K Mill Road. And from there, I don't know where they went. But everybody just watch out. But we thanks the police department for being there. And they checked. It was around 1:30, 2 o'clock in the morning. And that's about the third time that and I know some people walk. Some people ride bikes that time of morning, but cold like it was and one person dressed like that,
What can you do to them, David?
No, you can't do anything if
Right.
if they're not bothering anything.
if you don't catch them.
You know, you've actually got to catch them.
I mean, if they're on the right of way or on the road, there ain't
Right.
nothing.
No.
They didn't want to come on the right of way, so.
Okay. Anything else, Wade?
No, sir.
Gina?
No.
Denny?
No, sir.
Roy? Early? Wes? David?
No, sir.
Tyler? Okay. Okay, we'll go down to other now. Reminder, there will be a fire department committee meeting on December 18th at 5 p.m. The December chamber luncheon will be December 14th. If you plan to attend, please let Lori know by next Monday. And the annual Christmas dinner is this Friday, December 8th at 6 at Center on Main. And hope that everybody can attend that. I think we'll have a good meal and a good time, so.
Will there be any dancing there, Mayor?
It could be if you,
Yes,
you know,
sir.
if you bring your dancing shoes, we'll let you dance. Gina's gonna wear her elf costume. So, but I do appreciate everyone, you know, Tammy with Light Up the Park and the parade and the festivities on the square. I want to say again that, you know, we always get people that say there's nothing to do in Leitchfield. So I think we're pretty safe in telling them now, yeah, there is. There's plenty to do. So I do appreciate y'all's effort with that. With that being said, if there are no other comments or questions, we'll take a motion to adjourn.
I make a motion.
Motion by Clayton, second
Second.
by Terry, all in favor?
Aye.